This is a collection of ideas bound together by a name. But what if? Welcome to chaos. This is what the world has become. Chaos. But you see, each one of us are pages, and each page is a collection of memories, lives, families. And there are many hands which try to rip us apart. So, how do we stay whole? How do we make sense of this chaos that the world has become? Let us try and understand the nature of this issue. You see, as the days go by, people get more and more creative. The year 2014 alone saw more than 600,000 patents. Now that is a mind-boggling number. At this rate, I'm pretty sure that by the time I'm done speaking, someone I've never heard of, maybe even one of you, would have had an idea that will change the world. Now, how many of you or your families own more than 2 houses? Okay. Well, I'm not trying to make you sad or anything, but there are millions of people who live on the streets. We spend thousands and thousands of dollars on fireworks every year. There are people who don't have money to light candles in their houses. But in contrast to all of this, you find that even though the population is rapidly exploding, you can share your selfie with that famous actress, with the entire world in a matter of seconds. Discoveries are being made all the time. A few minutes later, you have them on a 4-inch screen in front of you. Isn't it ironical how all of us are both drawn together and thrown away from each other at the same time? The statement, "two minds are better than one," has been overused to the point that I can almost see some people yawning back there. But how about 7.4 billion minds? These many people working together might ensure success. But you might think that such unity is impossible. So let's think small scale first. Look around you. You will find students discussing about how horrible their exams are going. You will find children and their parents talking about how their children refuse to study at all costs. The very fact that you are watching a TED Talk makes you one of the millions of people before you. But the thing is, most people choose to stay aloof from all this. Why? It's because as humans, we are used to running. We consider every single day to be a race against work, deadlines, competition. But instead of running together, we run away from each other. We run against each other. Instead of trying to achieve a common goal, we fight. We fight and argue and try to get what we want. It's like throwing bricks at someone and expecting him to help you build your house. Things really don't work that way. But let's say you get a bunch of workers together, and all of them, united, work at placing the bricks in order. Chances are, you might actually be able to build a house using them. Now, let's say one of you have an idea that you believe will change the world, and you want everyone to follow it. So, how do you go about doing that? You might think that, well, I can't even get 20 people to listen to me. 7 billion? This kid is crazy. What is he talking? But that's not the case. You don't have to get so many people to listen to you. Just get 10. That's it, only 10. Teach them that living not only for themselves, but to live for others, to work with others, to work together. Tell them to follow your idea and inspire them to learn that this is the only way forward. And then those 10 people will go out and inspire 10 others. And then they will go out and inspire 10 others. And in the same way, you'll soon have the entire country following your idea, and then maybe more than one country, and soon, hopefully, the entire world. So you see, it's not that difficult. But here's the catch. You might not be recognized for this. Nobody is going to write your name in history books. There will be no epic poem sung about your deeds to humanity. And your name might not even be given a second thought. Isn't it discouraging that no one will bother to thank you? But would you rather have your name mentioned 100 times and then forgotten? Or would you like to look around you and find people who are living better lives because of you? People who don't thank you, but in their hearts do. Now this is something which I believe is truly worth achieving. And trust me, none of this is possible if you were to say, well, I can do everything on my own. I don't need anyone else. No, that's not going to work. Let me give you an example. Most of us here go to restaurants and enjoy the delicious buffets and the food. But how many of you have thought of how much food is actually wasted every single day? How many of you have thought of that? That's a lot of people. Now, if some of you were to get together and inspire the restaurant owners to provide only the amount of food that is actually consumed, and not waste the rest, but give it to the poor, to the people who actually don't get food. Trust me, in a few years, there will be nothing called hunger in this world. Doesn't it sound like a fantasy story? Doesn't it sound impossible? But it isn't. I want everyone to look around you. Seriously, look around you. Turn your heads, look around you. You find that almost wherever you look, you see light. I can see so many from here. Now you'd expect something this widely present, from the screen to your phones to your iPads. You'd expect something this widely present to be extremely powerful. But it isn't. It isn't unless you focus it, bring it together, maybe through a magnifying glass. You focus it and you watch it start a fire. Only then, and only then do you realize its awesome power. In the same way, each one here, each one of us, it's constantly expanding. Okay, it's not because of the amount or the number of burgers or pizzas we eat, but it's because of knowledge. Practically everyone in the 21st century knows more about a larger number of topics than anyone a few thousand years back. And thus, if you tell someone to focus on something, they can't do it. They find it really, really hard. But one string, I can call it a string, which binds everyone you know, everyone you will know together, is that of helping others. Now, the problem is, most of us, I'm not saying all, most of us think only about ourselves. Not in a selfish way, but how about you think, what book should I read next? Is there anything good to eat in the fridge? I don't remember the name of the movie he was telling me about. I should probably go ask him again. I'm not saying they should stop thinking about these. No, that'd be stupid. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes, why not devote your ideas to something else? Why not, I'm free this Friday. Is there any way I can get some of my friends together and give some of my old clothes to those homeless people down the road? Why not, I have some extra food left over from last night's party. Why can't I give some of it to that poor person I can see begging down the road? Why not? Now, these small acts are not an obligation. These small acts are not for everyone to do it. These are just strings which bind us together. And you find that they bring people together. You find friends, families united by this. You find entire countries united by this. How? How does that work out? Well, God forbid a calamity in one country. A few hours later, you see the rest of the world gathering money, gathering people, and sending it to that country. And then, because of this unity, you see the effects of it. You see millions and millions of lives being saved. You see the homeless people being given shelter. You see babies being rescued from the wreckages of burning buildings. And none of this would be possible if we were to say, oh, I don't know him. She doesn't belong to my country. Why should I be bothered? None of this is possible if we were not united. Which is why I decided to take unity, break it down. United humanity. This is the only way humanity, mankind, all of us can progress. It's the only way by which we can solve all our problems. Now, again, none of this is possible if we were not united. These ideas can be the glue that binds every single person together. But then again, these are just small ideas, small ripples in an infinite river. But a large number of these small ripples can bring everyone together and change the course of the entire river itself. Now, because of this, we should encourage wild ideas. Okay, now if someone tells you, hey, I want to turn the entire world into chocolate, that goes a bit too far. But if someone tells you, I want to change the world, don't just give him that weird look. Ask him what his plan is. Ask her what she wishes to do. It doesn't matter even if you don't know them. And chances are, you might share the same ideas, the same thoughts. And then, together, you will actually end up changing the world. Someone once told me that living anonymously, living only for yourself, is the greatest sin possible. So why not use our ideas for a better purpose? Why not use our ideas to bind humanity together under the banner of peace, of love, of hope, and kindness? And trust me, one of you might be, not even one of you, many of you here might be that one person who brings the entire world together. Now, I want you to be the fire. Be the fire that burns the entire world. Not in the sense of destruction, but I want each person here to be the fire that burns away all the selfishness, burns away all the hatred. And then trust me, you will have lived a life truly worth living. You will no longer feel hopeless and powerless. And this is a way by which we can make sense of the chaos. This is how we stay afloat in the sea of divergence. So, before you go to bed tonight, think, do you really want to live as a page? Or do you want to live as a book? A book as a part of the world's library. Okay, now what's the story of this book, you ask? Well, the story is the greatest success story of all humanity. Unity. The fire that should never, ever stop raging. Thank you.